Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. How are you doing? I'm not going to stay too long tonight because I know we all are tired. I spent the day, I woke up, tried to get some things sorted, and then I spent the day hanging out with friends and family from the Free Nation. Taste Buds and I hosted some of our abroad people who are in Nigeria to lunch, and it was amazing. We went to Cubanas. It was very nice, very very nice. Um, Good value for money, I would add. I wouldn't say it was cheap, but I'll say good value for money. So if you're looking for where you can go and have fun and enjoy yourself, I'd recommend Cubana. It was very nice, very, very nice stuff. And we had so much fun. Now, before I go into today's discussion proper, there's some things I'd like to point out. I watched a book, I read a bit of a book, and I watched a documentary on Return of the Gods. Let me see if I got that correctly. And I said I was going to quickly talk about it before I go into further. Return of the Gods by Jonathan Kane, by Gods, capital G. And he was talking about how America has been deteriorating ever since they took away religion and prayer from the curriculum, and how demons have been reintroduced, blah, 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 and how America has been re-paganized. I didn't read all of it, but the little bit I read, and what he also discussed on that Sid Roth's show, here are my issues. You see, it is very good for people with a certain narrative to pass across their message using what I believe to be illusory correlation. Ajeke Omoku, the witch cried, the child died, so obviously must be the witch. In psychology, that is called illusory correlation, linking two different ideologies, or linking an ideology with a reality and basing it without proper statistical or empirical research, blaming one on the other. And I'll give you the example. You see, in the heart, or should I say, at the heart of the Christian America was when slave trade boomed the most. Now America is pagan. Oh, they have gay rights, and they have gay parades, and they have all those things, and yes, it looks like America has been paganized and demonized and blah 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 blah. When America was most Christian was when they were selling my ancestors and your ancestors the way today you will sell cow and goat. When America was most Christian was when they were driving the original owners of America, the Native Americans, away from the land. I'll tell you a story, yeah? The North, and do your findings. Don't trust me, just like Peter Obi will say, verify. When there was a time when the North and the southern part of America, the northern and the southern part of America, were at war over slavery, slave trade, and enslavement as a whole. And the Bible was what both used to decide their stance on slave trade. The Bible, the southern part of America was quoting the Bible saying, yes, it's okay to have slaves. And the other part was saying, no, 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 it's not okay to have slaves. And that was a Christian time. You see, people like to create all sorts of narratives, and they say, oh yes, America, the Western world is now enslaved to Baal. We in Africa that we're enslaved to God, how are we better than the ones that are enslaved to Baal? We in Nigeria, we have what God cannot do does not exist every morning. A church literally in every street corner. How, in what way are we better than those who are outrightly worshiping Satan and Baal? I put it to you today that we are worse. Because we pray more than anybody else prays. And our hearts are filled with more selfishness and wickedness. And answer me. The countries where they actively have a church of Satan, which is America, women have rights. Children have rights. There is justice. You will work and you will see your money. Nigeria, where we have God. Look, I don't even need to ask you, why are you not staying in Nigeria with God? Why are you jackpot to where they have Baal? Why you they jackpot from Nigeria, go where there is Baal? Adeboye was quoted the other day saying they want to plant a church in every street corner so that they can bring the kingdom of God on earth. And my question is, if they are bringing the kingdom of God on earth, why are people running to the kingdom of Canada? Is Canada better than God? Because you see, at the end of the day, it boils down to something, yeah. We have tried to blame deteriorating things on demons and gods and paganism. Meanwhile, Christianity itself, the bedrock of what we practice today as Christianity, is founded on the highest level of paganism. I ask you, where did Halloween come from? Where did Thanksgiving really come from? Where did Easter come from? Let's forget about now that women can walk on the beaches without being fined for wearing a bikini. Because there was a time when, if you, even in Europe, if you wore a bikini on the beach, you'd be fined. You'd get into trouble. My question is, because they're free, Nigeria, where they don't accept gay, and America, where they openly accept it, where are them? Are you trying to tell me that there are fewer gays in Nigeria than in America? What we just have is the hypocrisy born out of the remnant of religious thinking. We have as many gays as they have abroad. The only problem is our own gay that they do one with religious color. So here's my thoughts before we go into I'll give you another example. In some parts of Germany and in the Netherlands, prostitution is legal, meaning Samaria can decide to get a license to practice prostitution and get into the red light district, get a shop, pay taxes, and contribute to the development of the economy. It happens like that in Netherlands and some parts of Germany. In some parts of Germany, you do not qualify for government benefits unless you've tried prostitution and failed. You know what you people do in the UK? You call it job seekers. You don't have a job, so because you don't have a job, the government pays you some benefits. In some parts of Germany, and I stand corrected, the government will hook you up with a prostitution agency. You must have tried prostitution. It's when you now try prostitution, you can't get customer. That is when The government will now finally see that, Samaria no get hope for this life. Ordinary ashawo she no fit do. Okay, we go give am government benefits. Someone says, Daddy Freeze, in summary, we should continue in sin, or there shouldn't be laws so everyone can behave as they want. No, I'm going to get there. So, in those countries, paternity fraud is not as rampant as we have in Jamaica, rated at number 1, and Nigeria, number 2. Now, you know what paternity fraud is? What happened to Nidu? Where his wife brought the first son that was not his into their matrimonial home, and Nidu was raising the child as his. And the wife saw nothing wrong. Because I watched it, the way she talked about it was like, yeah, you guys shut up. What's wrong with you? I was like, so I looked at it, and I clearly say this to all and sundry, that the prostitution they are practicing openly with license and tax in Germany or the Netherlands, for instance, in Nigeria, they are practicing it not in red light districts, in an institution called marriage. The average married woman in Nigeria is a prostitute. Because if 3 out of every 10 firstborn children are not born to the husband, please use a word and explain that situation. Don Jazzy said married women are in his DM. Please explain that. So let me now answer your question. Let me bring it down to you. Let me answer that guy's question again. Oh. Someone is saying, Daddy Freeze, you didn't talk about Lady Nantoma's divorce with Black Mentor. Are you now being selective? How are they divorced? Lady Nantoma is here. How are they divorced? Lady Nantoma is live here. Please, Lady Nantoma, help me tell him more. When see waiting person type, I pin him. See waiting person type. As in person wake up. Duke Slayer, he wake up. Wake up. Come criticize Daddy Freeze live. Come say, Daddy Freeze, you are not talking about Lady Nantoma's divorce with Black Mentor. I have pinned it. Jonah, they see. I'm not even, this was not even the comment I was, another comment I did look for, the person that said, we want to live in sin. Daddy Freeze, are you continuing to live in sin? Please. I'm looking for this. Real, and say says Daddy Freeze, in summary, we should continue living in sin, or there shouldn't be laws so everyone can behave as they want. I think we need to sit down and start explaining sin properly, because the biggest sin according to scripture is hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is worse than the gay we are shouting about. It's worse than prostitution. You know why? Because the hypocrite does all these things. And Nigeria's laws are not creating a holier nation. We are creating a more hypocritical nation, a nation that hides to do the sin. Is not better than a nation that openly does the sin. The sin is sin. Those who do it openly, as far as I'm concerned, I may be wrong, I'm not God to judge, but I prefer them on a personal note, because at least they own their sin. Nigerians will probably come out publicly and condemn the sin, then go inside our bedroom and practice it. Please, which is worse, sin or hypocrisy? We come out and we condemn it, and then they catch us 1 month later in that sin that we've openly condemned. Explain to me, how are we better? Explain to me why we can't have a parade. They have a parade. I'm not supporting the, but I want them to have a parade. Why do I want them to have a parade? So that those who are like that, let us know them, let us accept them, so they will not come and marry our daughters. Please, can somebody tag Black Mentor here? I want to block this Duke Slayer, whatever it's called. I want to block him. But first, I want Black Mentor to see what people are saying. I always love him and say he reads to drink water. Wallahi. So at the end of the day, sex before marriage is a sin. I shouldn't use that word. Oh, I'm sorry. Intercourse before marriage is a sin, is a sin, is a sin, is a sin. How many people are getting married as virgins? Your own mama will born you. Your papa will born you. They did not marry as virgins. But then they want to sell a narrative that you know is not sustainable. Were they able to sustain it? If the Bible now says you must marry as a virgin, I would understand. So those are my thoughts. Okay. So, Duke Slayer, I'm going to unpin the comment. I just wanted to take a picture of it so that tomorrow you'll come and say the same thing again. Someone says I disagree. Someone says I disagree. But your statement makes a lot of sense. You see, let me tell you something here. We are not holier than those that openly worship Satan. In fact, I put it to you that we are worse. We are worse. Check your WhatsApp. Check your WhatsApp. All right. So let's start with today's topic: abroad marriage issues. Someone says, put these teachings into writing. Okay. The black mentor is here. Let me just bring him on for 2 seconds. Black mentor.
Hey,
You see message where I send you?
I've just seen it.
They say, according to the guy, so help us throw light on it. They say I no talk about them.
Well, I don't know where the guy saw it. I've not signed any divorce papers yet. So maybe we should wait until their, what do you call it, their fantasy come to pass. Or whoever posted it, or whoever said something like that, should go and address it. But I have not signed anything divorce yet. That's all I can tell you. And I'm not in Nigeria. I don't do that nonsense everybody does. Every marriage has challenges here and there. I'm not Bobrisky, neither am I going to take care of anybody that come and be making noise about their relationships online. That's all I have to say.
Okay. So
I've not been around. I traveled to Miami as well.
Because last time me and you talked, you were with the family.
Yeah.
Which was 2 weeks ago.
Why are you saying 2 weeks ago? You spoke like a few days ago.
Yeah, like a few days ago. So where is something like this coming from?
Well, my wife is upstairs.
Can I talk to her?
Hello, honey. Sorry. Can you call your mommy? Can you call your mommy?
Can you see? If he was not alive now to dispel the rumors, that's how they will carry the rumor. Okay, let's talk to you. At least there's nothing they dispel rumors past this. The guy don't the type things for comment section. That I'll just pin that one so that I go, because he even distracted me.
I don't know. The way they're saying is news. I got a few calls. I don't know. Me, I just come back from travel.
Okay. So let us wait for Lady Nantoma to come, Abi. She in her house you did.
I do house now. I do my house.
Okay. So we will wait. We always see 700 people waiting. Nigerians and gossip.
The number don't go up. Oh.
You don't go up. Everybody they wait. Say, okay.
Let's wait when it gets to 1,000.
Let's wait. We are not going to announce. She posted it and then removed it. She's posted it. Let her refute it. Okay. Duke Slayer. If you have the post, send it to me by DM. Let me see the post that you are talking about.
But me, I didn't post anything, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. That's the elegant lady coming. Okay. We're waiting. 840. We want to get to 1,000. Oh yeah, people like bad news.
That is wants to.
Okay.
Good evening, Daddy Freeze.
Good evening, Lady Nantoma. Somebody came to post something on my page. I saw you earlier on. You started with us and then you left. So I was even hoping to get your attention. Somebody said that. Let me read the post. It says, I forwarded it to your husband, The person said, Daddy Freeze, you didn't talk about Lady Nantoma's divorce with Black Mentor. Are you now being selective?
I mean, my answer to that is that I've not signed a divorce paper yet.
So, Lady Nantoma, what's going on?
Daddy Freeze, you're live. It's okay. We'll talk later, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Daddy Freeze, I gotta go.
All right then. Okay, we'll talk later. Wow. This is one that will pain me. I'm going to shorten this live. This is one of my favorite couples. Oh, nothing must happen to them. Nothing must happen to them. Nothing must happen to them. Oh. Diary of a Canadian Mom. Yes. Now, talking about Clash of the Supporters by seeing Diary of a Canadian Mom. There was a bit of a ruckus or a fracas in-house last time we had the Clash of the Supporters. I'm here to address it. Both Team Tinubu and Team Peter Obi got a bit personal, which is not allowed. And the reason why it's not allowed is because if I take a personal jab at you, you can return with a personal insult, and before you know it, it gets really out of hand. So you guys noticed. So we're trying to bring peace to the house. That is clash of the supporters between Team Tinubu and Team Obi. I'm not blaming anybody because they both got personal. And I'm not blaming the lady in Team Tinubu, even though everybody wants me to blame the lady in Team Tinubu and say, oh, you went out of hand, blah, 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 blah. She was responding to what Brume, she first yabbed Brume, personally. Now, Brume reminds me of me. You will say that Freeze, you are a goat. Me, I will come back and I will abuse your father. Do you understand? So Brume came back with a hotter shot, and then the lady now went on him, Mama Tuzi. So I don't support any of that, but because it was two fighting, here are my rules going forward. Here are my rules going forward. We need to be very careful so as not to get personal. I love a hot debate. Don't you all love a hot debate? We love it when the debate is hot. But the problem is we need to be careful so as not to excite the polity too much. So I just said I was going to talk about that. As I don't talk clash of the supporters, everybody done they reduce. As I don't they talk get your PVC, everybody done they reduce. You understand? They want to hear gossip. Just like I read N6 post about Jerry Eze. They say the lead prayed pastor was praying, and in the middle of praying and crying, he did not remember them to tell them to share the video. Anybody with they share that thing, come meet me now. Shake pay, I dey shake pay for them. Once you share and give me, I go shake pay for you and I go block you. I dey always give my own personal testimony for that thing. The person we invite me to that thing, he don't buy and they no resurrect them. Now I need my own testimony. But that story for another day. It's not my business. Guys, at the end of the day, anything that involves election, please let us uh uh someone say that the freeze leave there. I did tell you the truth. Why should I leave there? What is the person who introduced me to the prayer? Say that they pray. I could no shake for that one. He don't buy, and they no resurrect them, but they resurrect people. God know that middle. I could just keep quiet. So at the end of the day, the debate is back next week, hopefully, and hopefully we can resolve all issues. And someone says we aren't interested in politics. Of course you are not. And then at the end of the day, when I go on the shout, no, nothing concerns me. So here's the thing, yeah. I genuinely feel sad about this black mentor issue because I cannot lie. I personally cannot lie. Mo the voice says Mama Tuzi sounds intelligent until she starts talking about Tinubu. Guys, you have to be careful. No, that's where I want to come in. Stop saying somebody is dumb because they chose to support Tinubu, or somebody is dumb because they chose to support Atiku. Your own is come and defend Peter Obi. Tell them that, oh, I love Peter Obi because he's this. Or come and defend Atiku. Don't say, you can say Atiku is a thief or Peter Obi is a thief. No problem. Back it with facts. But don't say you are daft for supporting this old person or this sick person. People can support whatever they want. And here's why I'm saying that. If we all were supporting the same thing, our wives would look the same. That's why somebody open his eye and go and marry fat woman. Another one open his eye and go and marry short woman. Another man open his eye and go and marry thin woman. Another man open his wife and go and marry yellow woman. People's choices are different and we've got to respect that. So, Daddy Freeze, you need to buy beer for Duke Slayer for spilling the tea. Duke Slayer just broke. Have you not noticed that my composure is no longer? I'm not here. I'm at a state of. I'm at a state of shock and deep pain. And my topic today was marriage issues abroad marriage issues. Marriage will survive abroad, easy. That's what I didn't know about this. It was Duke Slayer who came and started jabbing us live. Abroad marriage issues. And I want to invite couples who either divorced or are in the process of divorcing. Diary of a Canadian Mom says, please check up on them. People really look up to them. I'm telling you, people really look up to them. So anyway, let me try and. So let's leave it. Yes, it's not important. Let's leave it right now. Let us talk about abroad marriage issues. If you've been through a divorce or if you're going through a divorce, share your story. So share your story. Let me bring in a couple of people. Someone said my mood don't change. My mood don't change. I wish I had seen this before or I'd had a conversation to that effect before. But it just hit me. Abroad marriage no easy. Hey. So that's my topic today anyway. Abroad marriage issues. Someone says, to be honest, we're all stunned. As in, I'm not even sure say if you do this show, I will just struggle and do maybe another 30 minutes. You know, Solomon Buchi said, Solomon Buchi said, who got divorced? Nobody got divorced. We just heard some rumors. So this is one couple I particularly like. Particularly. Binta Ghana says, so many brothers are being kicked out of their homes. Let me see if I can bring Binta live on that. Okay, I need to tag the lady that wanted to share her story. Please tag. So we've got Binta here, my beautiful sister Binta.
It's been a minute.
Oh yes, it's been a minute. How are you doing?
Yeah, my earpiece. It's been a minute. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. You don't need an earpiece. If you wear an earpiece, it makes the sound muffled.
Oh, okay. Let me take
Yes.
it off.
Your chat, or can I say your comment? Yeah, better put. Your comment.
Yeah,
So many brothers
was
are being
talk-
chased out of their
I was
homes. Tell
talking
us.
to a brother out of Texas,
Yes.
and the story he told me, he struggled, got his from a company, and then came to, I think it was Maryland that they came to. And as soon as they got to Maryland, it wasn't too long after he was contracted by an American company. And just as soon as they were having a little struggle, he was paying all the bills, taking care of all of them. And as soon as they started to have a little struggle, it's like she just went gung ho on him, kicked him out of the house. He's a non-entity. He's not doing anything. He should leave. Let somebody better come in that can take better care of her, the wife, and the children. And he had to sleep in his car for 3 days. Then some Cameroonian, I think same church.
What tribe is this? What tribe is he? Or what nationality is he?
He's from, where is Atiku from again? I think it's
Adamawa.
I think somewhere around, if I'm not mistaken, or close to, you know. And his wife is Yoruba.
So there are two Nigerians, a Nigerian couple. Oh wow.
Yes. And 3 months after being away from the family, he got a job. And when the wife was going to be kicked out is when the mother-in-law called, cursed him out, and told him he needs to go and pay for the wife and children. So when he called the wife to find out what was going on, she said that he should come and pay the rent. He said, why should I pay the rent? You wanted me to leave so that somebody who has it together, who is in a better position than I am, come in, pay the rent, take care of all of us, the children and her. So he said, if it's a problem, give me my kids. This woman went to no extent. He was trying to file for his citizenship. She tried to block it. The mother reported him to the American. I mean, it was a mess. God's so good. He pulled himself together. He left. He went to Texas, started to build himself back up. And to God be the glory, he's doing fine. While in Texas, he himself is hearing horror stories of their brothers being kicked out of the house. Once the women are somewhat stable, they're on their feet, you know, they're doing a little bit better. If the husband is having a little struggle, they don't want him anymore. They want him out of the house. They have nowhere to go. And because there are no social programs in place to help men, there are social programs to help women, but there is nothing in place to help men, be it Black American men, be it white American, be it our own brothers. Nobody has anything in place that can help these brothers who are being kicked out. and nobody is thinking how to go, where to go, what to do to put some type of program in place that can help these men stand on their feet that are on the streets, sleeping in their cars, at the mercy of whoever would pick them up.
Okay. Sorry guys, I can't see every single one of your comments, but I saw this comment about that Solomon dropped. I pinned it. He says, it's not abroad marriage. It's the fact that many Nigerian women and men were groomed in a dysfunctional society. So structure and stability is the lack of freedom for them. That is a comment in marble or on marble, as the case may be. It makes a lot of sense. But you see, I'm a 46-year-old man raised in a dysfunctional society. I cannot change. You understand? So I might try to bend a little, but I was raised by my father in this society, which is why when you raise children till they're till they're about 22, 23, 25, let them go abroad for 10 years. Let them have the values, the ideologies of Nigeria, because Nigeria too has some things that we're good at. And then let them be able to balance it abroad, and then maybe come home or stay abroad. At least they have a balance. Because some of us, I don't think I can survive a marriage abroad. I'm not sure. You understand? Because my whole brain, I'm 46 years old. My whole brain has been tuned in a certain way by society, by religion, by culture, by ideology. You understand? So it might be a bit difficult for me at this stage, especially, to be able to find focus and be able to live with. I watch abroad movies. When I see the way they fight, I'm wondering, I can't do this. I can't do this. Someone said 22 is too late. No, 22 is okay.
There's nothing in favor for men here, to be honest.
And that, listen, somebody made a statement, Binta. Somebody made a statement. I want to bring the gentleman on, but I just want to quickly say this. Somebody made a statement the other day. He said, Daddy Freeze, one day, a black man driving a car hit a dog in the UK, and it was dog way. I don't match dog. They go my own for Nigeria before dog.
Not here.
You go the match and they go. You no go even stop. You go just look your mirror and say, yeah. You go they go. What happened then? By the time the animal rights people came, do you know? One guy was there, white guy. He made a comment. He said, "This guy is so unlucky. If only he had been a white woman, he would have stood a chance." And then as we're going, that was when I first started going to London in 2007 or 2008, thereabout, 2006 more like. And the guy was with Baba. This thing the guy talked, get through. See, abroad, he used London, for example. And I stand corrected. I don't live in London, but this is what someone who lives in London then said to me. He said, first, children have the most rights, followed by white women, followed by black women, followed by animals, pets, then black men. So in the hierarchy of who has rights, black men have the least rights. This was said in 2006. I may be wrong. I stand corrected. You can correct me. I remember the way that panned out. It was over him. I think that the lady was walking the dog and the dog ran across the street more like, and the lady sat down like the donkey happy king. It was very, very saddening. So I've got my brother here. Hello brother, what are your thoughts? Gucci Pa, go ahead.
Can you hear me first off?
Very clearly.
Okay. Daddy Freeze, thank you so much for inviting me. It's been a while that I'm trying to come to your life, and I'm so appreciative that I can come today. And so my thought, real quick, while you were speaking with Black Mentor, you know, uh, that was a sign that he gave. You know, if you notice very clearly, if you're like kind of attentive, you know, from where he was speaking, like from the angle he was speaking, you will understand that something was wrong even before he called Lady, you know, Lady Natuma, or correct me if I'm wrong. So, and at the point that she came down from the from the stair, like about to come down, I noticed that she was, she were like a bit hesitant, to come down. But at the point, it was when Black Mentor mentioned that, that if Freeze wanted to talk to you, that was when she summoned the courage. Because I was like paying closely, because
You're analyzing.
yes, I was kind of like, of course, Daddy Freeze is, one of my mentors, maybe you didn't know. I was like kind of close, contact of like storing and movement. And at the point when she, eventually came, you understand that, she gave a little bit distance. Like she didn't come directly to the camera. It was, the Black Mentor that was trying to force the camera on her. And, the last thing that I noticed, when Daddy Freeze were trying to like, get her thought, or to know what is happening, she said something. She said, Daddy Freeze, we are on live. I was like, on that spot, I was like, oh man, something is wrong.
Well, she's behaving like a lady that she says she is. She handled it.
No, I believe she's smart. To have to have said that. She's so smart. She believes how the media works, and she doesn't want to like bring everything online. Of course.
Why should she have to? I mean, it's a private thing at this point.
Of course. We know, of course, I believe she just wanted to protect something. And maybe she's still trying to protect something. And I believe she might have the reason for her not to like want to come alive with Daddy Freeze, because she knows, how many people, are online, right? So I believe that.
Sir, can I just say something really quick? They've posed as power couples, right?
Right.
And they've been very active on Daddy Freeze forum.
Right.
And I have to respect the fact that she handled it like a lady. She handled it very well. We don't know the intricacies of what's gone on. They didn't just get to that point today, or whatever made her post what she did. Women are very emotional. So when she gets to a point where she wants to discuss it, or they are able to weather that storm or not, I'm sure Daddy Freeze will know, and at the right time, the public will know. But she was being put on the spot.
Definitely.
And she decided as a lady to decline and not go any further. I have to respect her for that.
Which is the right thing to do, brother. And if she didn't talk about it, maybe we shouldn't too. Maybe we should. Yeah. Maybe let's focus on the main issue, bro. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I thought we were talking about.
Okay. Yeah, but don't dwell on Lady Nantoma or Black Mentor.
As you said, we shouldn't because right now it's still like a speculation as far I'm concerned, and as far that it Freeze is concerned, because I believe that it Freeze hasn't gotten the fact yet. From I believe from what Black Mentor said earlier on, I believe it's not yet a fact. So I believe we should just respect that, and not just dwell on that. For the issue of men going through a lot in abroad, that is Freeze, as if you remember our conversation, I was trying to tell you something about my own personal experience. I live here in California. I'm talking to you right now in California. This is California time. We are in 4:39 p.m. So that is Freeze. A lot, as my sister rightly said, a lot is going on. Like right in abroad. What people are going through. Some people might just look at it like, it's just to be, you guys in abroad, you guys, but a lot is going on here pertaining marriages, pertaining relationship. Trust me. And here it's like one-sided, as my sister rightly said. It's like when anything happens, they would, sometimes they don't want to hear your side. Sometimes they just want to just go to the other side. Trust me. So a lot is going on. A lot is going on over here that sometimes, you just need to be in that place for you to understand.
It's really sad,
Yeah.
I'm just concerned, I have a son, he's a black man, so I'm concerned for him on every level, because he's like, we're getting to the point where before we do anything with any woman, we want to be established. She has to sign, to the point where you want to sign to protect your stuff. I've heard so many lies.
Now, Binta, somebody said something. Let me read this to you.
Because they're protecting it.
Let me read this to you. It says, African women create the toxicity they live in abroad.
Absolutely.
Then,
I will not deny that.
Then, when their sons grow up, they try to shield them from this same toxicity they created.
Absolutely.
And you what you just said, is very deep. And I'm going to explain it in the best way I understand this. Many women destroy men only for them to realize that they have sons.
Yes.
I know what I experienced with my ex and how I was demonized. And a lot of people say, Daddy Freeze, you have your side and she has her side. There's one side that made it to the court papers. My ex wrote in court papers that I used to bring men home to sleep with her. And when she didn't agree, I would strike her physically. These are in court papers. You can go to the courts in Lagos today and have access to these papers. There is nothing in this except the damage of a man. Do you realize, have you ever sat down to think about the fact that your son is going to grow up? If he saw you, or if your daughter saw you, or if somebody else's daughter saw you do that, what if they do it to your own son?
They're shattered.
Do you understand? What if they do it to your own son? You did it to a man. Whether this is right or wrong, did you have to go that far? I live with taste buds. I guard her and protect her like she's my egg. Of course, we all humans make mistakes. Every day you pray for your relationship to work. It is not automatic. It is not easy.
Not without a struggle.
It is not without a struggle.
Yep.
But I don't think, if I'm in a relationship with Satan's daughter, if I were currently in a relationship with Satan's daughter, I don't think. What's wrong with network?
I'm actually here. Hi, Daddy Freeze.
Hi, Solomon. We can hear you. The network is. Can you hear us? So, like I was saying, if I'm actually in a relationship with Satan's daughter, there are some things I still would expect her to keep sacred, and I still would not bring a man home to sleep with Satan's daughter. That right there is what I would like to describe as the mischief of women. Okay, so Solomon, let's hear from you here.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Well, I'm not going to turn on my video. I'm not really in good shape. Um, but let me just speak. First of all, the whole issue of abroad marriage. Yeah, I saw somebody in the comments saying, "Well, someone has not even gone abroad." He's speaking. I have spoke to many women that I can count of about their marital experiences. I know people, right? Young women in the UK, in the US, in Canada, different places. Number one, yes, it is a global issue, but you see, we need to also be very fair. Both men and women contribute to it. That's number one. Men actually travel to the US or to the UK with the mindset they have of marriage that is not basically partnership. It's like a form of like oppression. So you see a man who in Nigeria is saying, "Oh, I cannot cook for my wife. I cannot cook. Cannot do this." When they go over there, they cannot take that mindset. They're like, yesterday I was speaking to one of my friends who's like in the UK, and she's like, "Solomon, do you know how much it costs to actually have a domestic staff in the UK? Like, you literally, like she was saying, some places you pay up to like 2k pounds, like a month." And because of that, what that means is that the both of them, the both like parents would be actively involved in the lives of their kids. Or do you get what I'm saying? That's number one. Number two, obviously, like the men, they go there with like so much rigid mindset and all of that. And because of a place that there is structure, they can easily get caught and everything. That's number one. Number two, the women, the truth remains, a lot of women might deny and say, "Oh, it's not true," or whatever. I feel like a lot of women actually grow up with so much bitterness that they want to retaliate, to even innocent men. So you see them with a lot of like pent up frustration, bitterness, and when they go abroad, it's more like they want to prove a point to men. And obviously, the way like the Western world has been structured is just a way that, just like you said, the woman actually comes first, and then the child actually comes first, or the children, then the woman, before you talk about like pets and all of that, before the men. This is standard. Anybody who's arguing this is just, I don't know, it's just socially obtuse.
So
I'm sorry.
Solomon, you're saying that she gets liberated and empowered because they're pro women, and she's able to exercise whatever pent up emotion she's had over the years, right? Growing up.
Exactly. And and this is one of the problems that I have with this whole pro black women movement. Like, it is absolute bullocks. Sorry, I'm going to say this. Like, it's absolute nonsense, because what they teach these women is how to be so vindictive in their homes. See, you see,
kick the men out. The ultimate thing is to have them kicked out of the house.
Exactly.
And promote, you do not need a man.
Exactly.
You could do better by yourself. You do not need a man. Whatever a man can do, I can do it, and so on. And the truth is that we do need our men. We do need our men.
Yeah, exactly. And you see, somebody is telling me, but the whites actually also do it. Let me tell you, there is a wide margin. You can't compare an immigrant in the US who's trying to get his papers, or who's trying to, get what's it called, a very stable state, to someone who's actually a citizen of that country. You can't compare. Even if the person is out of their house, they have family. Do you see what I'm saying? They have family to go to, they have friends, they have
a support system.
Exactly.
They have a very strong support system.
Exactly. So you cannot be telling me, but whites also get kicked out. Like that does not, logically, that does not even match up. But just like I was talking about the whole pro women stuff, you see, that it feels like, you see this whole thing about, women just did. See, let me tell you, I was listening to Michelle Obama, and it caused a lot of like issues online, and it was even all these pro women people that were dragging her, where she talked about how sometimes in her marriage it was like 70-30, 70 from her, 30 from her husband. She was basically saying that marriage can never be 50-50. Sometimes somebody's giving more, sometimes you might.
It's like a seesaw. It goes up and down. 1 minute she's doing better, the next minute he's not. But you have to find that balance to work it out and be deliberately committed. Absolutely. If you are committed to that journey in life together, you will find a way to work it out. But they have us in a tunnel, or these young ladies, or these ladies, or whatever it is, that are so women. It started off with women's liberation. Now it's gone on to something darker. You have a tunnel vision now, where it's all about the women, dumb down the men, make them more insignificant, as insignificant as possible.
Yeah. So let me finish. But this is a realization that a lot of women do not understand that marriage. I'm not talking about abuse here, please. Abuse is
Different.
yeah, different. But you see that a little misunderstanding in homes, in marriages, any little thing I want out. See, marriage is freaking not easy. Like marriage, one of the most difficult things you will ever do in your life, right? And you just need to know whether it is, yes, it is beautiful, but it's beautiful and it's so difficult because you are literally living all of your life with that person, obviously again, devoid of abuse. But there is this popularity of the idea that women are sufficient by themselves. And you know what these women do? What they do is they try to make sure that at any slightest opportunity, they kick the men they have out of their lives. And then what they do is that when they see men who are in their 40s and 50s going for younger women who are in their 20s, early 20s, or mid 20s, they start to cry.
They start tripping.
For the most of your life, till you were 35 and 40, you were all doing all these, women empowerment stuff.
Macho.
That you're doing like it's a very long conversation. I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan of what's his name, Kevin Samuels, but he used to make a lot of sense in some. Obviously, I don't really like the fact that he was quite condescending. When you listen to him, Daddy Freeze, a woman will call in, like a black woman. Like, I'm sorry to say, but black people have issues, and black women are so hypocritical. I'm not talking about black men right now. Black men, obviously, but that one everybody knows. But you see, something about women is that yes, naturally, or let me not say naturally, from historically, like, right, women have been victims of a lot of like form of oppressions. But you see, at the same time, some women use the fact that the society will always assume that they are the victims to actually put men into trouble. Just like you said, Daddy Freeze. Let me tell you, it is easy today. If there is news or there is rumor that Daddy Freeze hits his wife, God forbid, I know, and I know that will not happen, right? But if there's
Amen.
actually news that
Amen is in that equation. Amen is in that equation.
Amen.
Right?
Then we gather like bees.
But if there is news that Daddy Freeze hits wife, trust me, that will be more believable than when it said wife hits Daddy Freeze. Because there is already, I tell women, just because you're a woman does not mean that you will always be the victim. But you see, women know how to play the victim really well. And when they tell their stories, obviously not all of them, they know how to sensationalize it, make it so emotional, they will cry. You will be shocked. So my message, long and short, to men who want to marry women outside this country or women who are exposed, in my opinion, find a woman that actually has family values. This thing is so simple. It doesn't have to be a Christian. You see, family values tie us together. Family values is the reason why, even when it's very difficult, you guys can sit down, trash it out. Family values, even when you guys are divorcing, it will be in peace. Family values. Even when you are divorcing, right? It will be in peace.
Just to piggyback on what you said, Solomon, there is a well-known comedian, self-made in the United States. When I say self-made, Bentley, Rolls Royce, whatever made. And I was talking to him the other day and he was sharing because he was going through something. Very good friend, right? He was going with beautiful girl. And she would do whatever it was and he would tell her, listen, you don't need to go through all of this and do all of this. I love you just the way that you are. This girl was so traumatized and troubled. It's like every relationship that she's in, she's the instigator, right? Because he backed away from all the drama and everything. He backed away from it. She felt like she's beautiful, she's sexy. If anybody is to leave, this is what I was hearing. It should be her. Now, she used to be in the police force. If he's on here, bro, I ain't calling your name.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second, ma'am. Let me say thank you to the two gentlemen so I can bring new guys. Solomon, thank you for your time. You spoke a lot of wisdom. Before you go, I'm gonna say something. Yeah, My marriage with court papers, my former marriage with court papers, was dissolved over issues of domestic violence from my ex to me. Anything she liked, she can say she could not prove in court. But that was proven beyond reasonable doubt. And I'm a street kid. Forget the botao. The reason why men don't fight back is because you touch a woman, she will start to shout. It has happened. I will never stand here and be on my high horse and say I've never slapped
As a real man, it's not
do
advisable.
you understand? Oh, I
It's not
have.
advisable.
But you
You
see,
cannot hit
what
anyone.
happened from it made me say, you know what? No. Because it all came back. There's nothing that I said that, she did this, so that's why this happened. They will not listen to you. And
Definitely.
she rolled on that. But you see, all those things to me are forgivable.
Mm-hmm.
When she said I was bringing men home to forcefully have intercourse with her, it's in court papers. I can post it if you want. That to me
Deceitful.
was
Deceitful.
another level.
Mm.
What would you gain if you destroy my name to that level? And that is what I want to draw out of that. Solomon said something, even if he gets to divorce, can you divorce in peace? Can you
Amicably.
leave, the cruelty? Can you leave, and to be very honest, sometimes the partner leaves you no choice. She didn't want me to have access to the kids. She wanted me to look like a devil. And in order for her to do so, she had to create a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, the narrative did not work. It worked in the fact that I've not seen my kids for 5 years. But aside that, she was not able to label me in that regard because I live with a woman and I know they beat them. I might have my own. That's why I don't think I can marry a white woman. Maybe I could at 20, maybe 30. But now I've formed, I have this whole ideology. Maybe I might not be able to tolerate the liberation that the Western woman comes with. But you see, Solomon said something, yeah, and I'm going to hold on to that. He says family values.
Values.
Once you have family values, you will consider certain things. But you see, now family values too have been abused. There are some people who will
Yes.
look at, I'll look at Binta now and say, oh, she has family values. I can stretch her to this limit. I also saw what Taste Buds went through in her own divorce. And I'm going to say this: a man dragging property with a woman for, when it's not that he owns the property, there's no document that shows that you own this property. If there is, bring it forward. The
Damn.
fact that you are dragging a woman in court over property for 5 years, for 10 years, it shows the weakness of the man, in my opinion. So you see, the problem is not divorce. The problem is how you divorce. Some men believe that they own women to the point where, if they are, I'm a reasonable person, and I said it in when we had mediation meetings between lawyers. I said, I don't consider myself an unreasonable person. I will never take children from a woman. Never. Me, I've not done my homework that they gave me in GSS2. Now I want to do homework with Pekin now. Do you understand? I will
So
never.
you know your
I know
strengths.
my strength. I will
It's
not.
not easy.
I will not take children away from their mother. But I also need you to know that if the mother wants to keep them in her house, she's going to have to pay that rent. I wouldn't pay I will feed my children. I will contribute towards their school fees. But remember that you keeping them comes with a responsibility. If I got the custody of the children, will you pay part of my rent?
Nope.
So if you get custody of the children and you are
Absolutely not.
working, and you are, those were my issues with my ex. I'm like, you work in an oil company, I work on the radio. Then I was a radio presenter. She worked in an oil company. Why should I pay your rent? Why should I contribute towards your rent? I was not going to do that. I'm not a part of that. No. I agree that you should keep the children. But Is like taste bud X contributing to rent. No, nobody needs that kind of money. We don't need it. I believe that a woman should be able to take care of the children. There's some responsibility that comes with it. Because guess what? You can't tie my life down to the point where I am where I am. I'm paying your rent. You are working. What are you doing with your money? I believe that your money is your money. My money is our money while we are married. My money is not our money the moment we are divorced. My money is my money. I also want to marry somebody else, and then my money becomes our money with the new person I want to marry. How can I do that?
Stay where you are, Daddy Freeze. Don't come here.
How of course I'm not gonna. How can I
It doesn't work like that.
now? How can I live with a new family when I'm carrying the load of the other family and she's saving her money?
And she got another man.
And she got a no. Look, just look at that. Just look at it. You know they pain me because me, what like a lie, I go sell everything I have, come back to Nigeria, go my village. I'm mad, do I know well? Take anything from me, but don't. Let me explain this to you. A woman, if I get to pay her rent, feed the children, and take care of the children, what does she do with her own money? She gets to buy clothes and bags and change her car and travel, and then she will still get a man. And 90% of the time, the man is going to fund her lifestyle, at least to an extent. A Nigerian woman will collect from a man. So I'm here. She's getting the best of both worlds. She's getting the best of the divorce because I'm not going to stop my ex from moving on or having a relationship or getting married. Why would I dare do such a wicked thing? No, feel free. We've shown that we can't live together. It's not working. Move on. So I'm going to be moving on, but I'm held back by the financial strings now. You understand? I can't start a family because you don't know what rent is. Rent is, but if I were Dangote, no problem. If I were Dangote, and that is what will take me to see my kids, I'll rent a house for you. But I am not Dangote. You understand what I'm saying? I also need money for me. I need money for my business. I need money for personal development. You understand? So I'm paying rent. I'm paying so much. She's getting to save her money and invest. Now, I learned this thing with raising kids. I would pay all the bills. I say this all the time. My ex should come and show which bill she was paying in the house when we're together. Because the bills was rent, main bill, rent. I was living in a Cool FM house. And I was the only one working in Cool FM last time I checked. Do you understand? So the rent was a subsidy for my work, not our work. It's not like we're working there together. School fees, I paid 100%. 100. My ex has never contributed 1 naira towards school fees, at least the time we were together. Feeding, she would probably contribute to us, but I gave regular feeding money. It might not have been enough, but I gave. My sister never collected feeding money from her husband. Say, why? He's taking care of some of the bills. Why am I working? But I never looked at it like that. I used to supplement, and it might not have been much. All their travel expense, at least their tickets, and plus some spending money, I would always give each time they traveled. Visa, when she was leaving, the last American visa she collected for her and my kids, I remember, and my bank is there. I can bring receipts if they want. I paid for her visa and the children's visa. So, what was she doing with her money? Guess what? She was taking the kids to the cinema. It wasn't. Now, let me break this down to you. Daddy pays the rent. Kids don't understand. They believe they have to have a house, so they don't care where the rent is coming from. Daddy pays the school fees. It is mommy that takes them for ice cream that they value. Mommy takes us for ice cream. To them, that is more valuable. Big thank you to Solomon Bucci and Gucci Pa. Thank you guys so much. I want to bring 1 or 2 more people. You understand? So she's flexing with her money. She's playing to the gallery. She's getting the emotions of the children. Oh, our mommy is so wonderful. Oh, our daddy never did anything for us. You understand?
That is your money.
Our daddy never did anything for us. It's ice cream. How much is ice cream? How much is a movie? How much is ice cream and how much is a movie? Mommy gives them time. But for daddy to be able to give you time, he has to sacrifice work. So here's my thing, yeah. Here's my thing. I believe in consequence. If I'm going to keep the kids, I wouldn't ask you for rent. Never. I probably won't even ask you for school fees unless you choose a particular school that is above my budget. Then if my budget for school every month is 100,000 naira and you choose a 500,000 naira school, just know that you will bring the remaining 400,000 on top. And I will not put my children in a bad school. You understand? But what I'm trying to say is the reverse should also be the case. You want the kids, which I agree you should have the kids. I wouldn't want to be separated from my mom. Growing up, I know how influential my mom was and how useful she was in my life. And I wouldn't want to deprive my son of that.
Yeah, but I don't agree with the woman depriving the father of the kids.
In some instances, when the father is mad, when the father, listen, I say this all the time, yeah.
Absolutely.
I say this all the time, yeah. All this, you need a father figure. There was a time in my life I did not need a father figure. My dad was toxic. At that point in my life, I did not need a father figure. Now I need a father figure. No, they are not exceptions. Oh, I've met toxic dads. I personally have met toxic dads. If the husband's sole purpose is to demonize and destroy the mother, then I don't see. If the father is trying to steal the child, because there's also this narrative when the father comes and tries to steal the child and tries to enter the brain of the child. No, you're not going to see that kid. And I vowed never to. Each time I saw my kids, the 3 or 4 times I saw my kids since the separation and the divorce, I never for once told them anything bad about their mom. Maybe I said it on social media, but to them one-on-one.
But you're telling your truth.
I would never tell my kids anything bad about their mother. Their mother is their mother. They should respect her. Right. I don't need to respect her, but they need to respect their mother. I don't need to love her, but they need to love their mother. That is very important. But we now need to draw something here. And that's one of the reasons why I can't live abroad. I will work and pay your rent. And then you will save your own money. And then you will marry a man. Nah. If you tell me this is how much the children need for feeding, and you see, that is one reason why I would drag child custody with a woman. Because I don't want to, I don't need to.
My cousin did.
But because I'm seeing that, okay, if I drag this child with this woman, then at least I don't get to pay her rent. Because if the children are living with me, primary custody, and they are visiting you, why do I need to pay your rent?
True.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So women too, they are angry. Oh, he left me, or he's moved on so quickly, because these were some of the narratives. He's moved on so quickly. He's moved on to somebody else. Now that he's moved on to somebody else, let me punish him. You are not punishing him. You are punishing your children, especially when the man is not fighting you. I never fought. Where I fought my ex over my name that she tried to tarnish. I fought those battles. I fought my ex over not seeing my children, but I never fought her for her choices. Whatever she wanted to do with her life, I believed as a grown woman she had her choices, and I respect them. My ex said one day, where we're at Chocolate Royale, the judge, for me to see my children, the judge had to order her to let me see my children.
What?
Oh, then sometimes she will not come. Then we'll go to court again to see my.
What the hell?
Then there was a day I saw the kids at Chocolate Royale. I was sitting down, and she came and said, "Oh, you now have a new baby." I don't have a new baby. You have a new baby with
So
somebody
what?
else.
What?
So the children cannot visit your home. Hello,
Oh my God
auntie.
in
How
heaven.
many women did your father have children with? If each of them decided that they are not going to let your father see his children because he had children with other people, where will we be today? Can we please put things in proper perspective? Sometimes these topics get me really upset.
It gets you upset. My
And
ex-husband
she
had
made
a
that statement,
child
and I'm like,
outside,
what is your
and
business?
the child
What
knows the
is your
sister she's.
business with I've moved on? You have also moved on. What is your business if I have a kid?
Exactly. Oh my
Then,
God in heaven,
then,
and
then
their
hold on, hold
siblings,
on, hold
right?
on. I went to see my children in I went to see my children in the new school she put them in. Oh, the whole argument was I wasn't paying school fees. I was not paying school fees for children I was not seeing. And I'm not going to pay school fees for children I cannot see. At the time when I was going
Understandably.
through financial issues that you caused for me, my money was barely enough for me to survive. You are right, I have a new kid on the way. I'm not going to deprive him for children that I cannot see. I
Not
have to beg a
the
judge for you to let me see the children. So I now have to pay for the ones I cannot see, and the one I can see at home is starving.
oh God.
So I went through plenty, George. Eventually, George was able to get me to see the children. I went there, and I went there with the mind of saying, because I couldn't keep up. I went there to
Oh
see
my
the kids.
God.
She was standing at the door, tapping her foot on the ground. Gave me 5 minutes to see my children.
I wouldn't be able to deal with
And
that.
you can't deal
It's
with
like
it.
I can't.
So I went to see my kids, and guess what? The next day was basket mouth. She told me that the kids have exams, so I can't see them on a Saturday. I went there with my sister and my lawyer. I didn't go alone, thankfully. I went there with 2 lawyers and my sister. And all of them are still alive today. And she told me that she gave me 5 minutes. She was literally standing at the door. At the point, the authorities of the school, one school in Ikeja around that CMD, the day I have their time, I will call them out. They will know that I'm a mad person. But I've not just had their time. I'm calming down.
So Daddy Freeze,
Hold
wait
on,
a
hold on. Let me
second.
tell you
He's
this story.
reading you
Let me
the
tell you
right
the
and
irony
you
of this
stood
story.
there and you're
Hold
listening.
on. Hold on. Let me tell you the irony of this story. Yeah. I went to see the
Damn.
kids for 5 minutes, literally. Don't worry. The light in my estate, they
True
bring it
talk.
back.
It's true talk. That's why the light went out.
Yeah. Don't worry. The light will come back in 30 seconds or 1 minute. I went to see my kids. Yeah. And the authorities were literally waiting, as in the authorities of the mad school were actually waiting
Get out
for
of here,
me
Daddy
to,
Freeze.
they were
What the
looking
hell are
at
you
time
saying?
for me to see my kids. I said, okay, no problem.
What the
Guess
hell
what?
is that?
The next day was basket mouth. He had an event. I don't know whether his son was. She went to pull them out of school and took them to attend the event.
Get the hell
Kids
out
that
of
I could
here.
not spend
What the
1 hour with.
This is like a movie.
I could not spend 1 hour with them in school. But she now went and took the kids out of school and took them to a basket mouth event.
God.
So here's my thing. Yeah. The only way I could deal with it was, you know what? I don't have time for this.
I'm saying.
I don't have time for this. And you are creating a toxic world. Your son, there was a time I used to pray for my son. I pray that you marry a woman like your mother, then you respect me. There were many things I blamed my father for until I got married. My mom might have been the best mom in the world, might have been this, that, but I can't marry my mom. I can't. Not that I don't love her. I love my mother as my mother, but I can't marry her. Because my
A
mom has her
personality
own
like
issues. She might have a great personality for a mother and for a wife, but I can't. When I started getting to the age of marrying, I realized that okay, now these are the dynamics of this situation. And I used to pray that prayer. I said, until you marry a woman like your mother, you will never respect me. You always feel that I'm the devil. You just walk those steps for 5 years. Then go through a divorce like I went through. Then you would value me. Then it took me another 3 years to start praying against it, that please, this is not the kind of prayer I should be praying for my
You
son.
should for
That
your
stays
son,
was, it was
yeah.
stays what I was always fighting me. Don't make that prayer. Don't say that. Because they never would understand you. They always look at you as, he's the devil, he's the devil, he's the devil. So what am I saying in essence at the end of the day is, women and men in marriages. Maybe I'm a bit upset today because of what I've been through. So many, and some people say, Daddy Freeze, move on.
Understandably.
I have not seen my kids in 5 years. Even if my kids don't like me, I need you to understand that I'm angry for the fact that I've not seen them in 5 years. You can't take that anger away from me. And you can't tell me that anger is undeserved. One thing my mother never did to my dad, they had so many misunderstandings. My mother never called me to spoil my father in front of me.
Now that's
No
my
matter
respect.
what, that's why I also inherited that. And I told my kids, I say, look, you must love your mother. I don't need to love your mother. I don't even need to respect her. But you
But you do.
must. So
And that takes a man. That takes a real
now,
man. Because there's some men, my ex, Daddy Freeze, did nothing but try to propel. I'm a witch, my mom's a witch, my entire family. And my daughter at 5 years old, he was saying, I have to tell you the truth, they're bad. How do you do that? Why are you damaging a child
now,
over your own feelings?
now, I want to say this, yeah. I reached out recently to one of my ex's friends. I said, I haven't seen my kids. Are they okay? I would like to make sure they're okay. And you know what my ex told her friend? My ex told her friend that the kids are old enough that they know how to find their father on social media. Oh, really? Kids that you've sat down and entered their head for how many years?
Engineered them to think a particular way about their
I
dad.
work in
And now
advertising.
they're
It's like you
supposed to
telling me
look
that a Coca-Cola billboard does not work. Why does Coca-Cola spend several hundreds of millions every year, billions every year in advertisement? So that they can get into your head.
Oh, McDonald's. The first thing a kid sees is
The burger.
Oh, I want that.
It is when you enter the McDonald's and you taste that it's different. But they've worked on you already. How can you tell me that kids you took from me from 10 and you painted a certain narrative?
Indoctrination, programming, and then they're going to go out there and say, oh, I'm going to go look for my dad. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It doesn't work like that.
They're going to always hate me. If you sit down with them and tell me why they hate, they'll say, because I abandoned them. That was a narrative at one point. Guys, they were driving me mad. I had to abandon. I had to. There was a day. Wait. Let me tell you something. On my daughter's birthday, I didn't have money then. Very important, because to raise kids, you need money. Then, my sister was the one that suggested, it's your daughter's birthday today. We're going to court. We had a court meeting and she was going to be there. Let's buy a cake. I was like, I don't have money for cake. It's not like these kids even want to see me or want my cake. My sister was sharp pushing. She said, no, we're going to buy a cake. We're going to buy a cake. So we went to court and the court stood down the case. They were like, okay, because the children are here, we're going to delay the case. Standing it down means we'll come back later when we've dealt with the easier cases, and then we'll have your time.
It for another time.
So, okay. So with that now, me and my sister had to go and hang out somewhere. So my sister said, now that we have time, in fact, she's buying the cake. So I shall grumble, okay, let's go and get the cake. I didn't have money for cake. I was going through a very tough time that period. So we went and bought cake. And we saw the kids told their own side of the story of how I was mean to them and all that. And they're not entirely wrong. I also had my issues. I was raised in like Solomon pointed out. Sometimes when you are raised in Nigeria, you are toxic. My ex was equally toxic, and she was raised where neighbors. You understand? So we were raised in equal levels of toxicity. Let's leave that. But I take my own fault. Yes, I agree that The kids had the right to be angry with me. I shouted, I did. Yeah, as a parent, you're going through your own stress and your own
Nearly every African
frustrations.
parent shouts.
You understand? Shout and transfer of aggression. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. And I apologize for that. So the kids were angry with me. They said their own. I wasn't angry with them because, in all honesty, it was not their fault. Okay, we finished with the judge. The judge blamed me for uh, the kids were really angry with me, and the judge said, look, these children are justified to be angry with you, blah, 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 blah. Okay. We finished. Can I give my daughter the cake that I didn't want to buy because I didn't have money, but my sister forced me to buy because she felt it was a good thing, and I eventually agreed with her? And my ex says no, that my children cannot eat that cake.
What?
I swear to you. Guess who collected the cake? Her lawyer.
I'll be damned. This gets better.
My ex did not allow, because I will poison a cake. Listen, I will poison a cake that I want to give to my daughter on her birthday.
That's a slap.
Female judge.
For real.
She was quite fair. Listen, I went through 2 judges. I don't remember the name of the first one, but she was fair enough. And the second one was Okunu, Justice Okunu. Even fairer than the first judge that was fair. It is the judge in Port Harcourt that was not fair. That's why we are going to appeal, and from appeal we are going to Supreme Court. And I thank to the glory of God, I have money. I have money to drag a court case to anywhere you want to drag it. If you want to take it abroad to America, I would hire a lawyer and I will pay the dollar. Money is not a problem now. It might have been a problem at a point, but hey, to the glory of God, the many years I didn't pay tithe, I was able to save some money, which is of course not the case, but which is of course not the case, but hey, that. Oh yeah, I had to say it. So. Imagine. My sister was livid. I now said, do you now see why I didn't want to get the cake? Imagine I used my money. It's not my sister's money. Me that I didn't have money. I was. As in, let her take the cake from me and say, thank you, daddy. And go and throw it in the dustbin.
Be a hypocrite at least in front of
Collect the cake from me and say, thank you, daddy, for remembering me on my birthday. And then taking that cake, on their way home, stopping on Third Mainland Bridge and throw it inside the river, or giving it to the poor.
All good.
I would have had no qualms. That you did not even allow her to take cake, I will poison cake and give my child. But you wanted my money.
Special.
You ain't gonna get none of it. So her lawyer was the one that drove up and collected the cake. I'm sure they collected the cake and threw it away. That thing pained me.
You paid me too. What are you saying?
That thing pained me. You understand?
My sister too. My God.
As in
front of everybody.
In front of everybody in the court.
Man, Daddy Freeze, I don't know, man.
This, by the way, is about 6 years ago. You understand?
Not too far off. It's still fresh.
Maybe even 7, maybe 5, 6 years ago. We've moved away from that narrative, and I haven't seen my kid. I don't hold it against them, but I just want you to understand the level of toxicity that men go through. And now this is not a man.
You didn't let me finish, Daddy.
I'm going to let you finish now. I'm just going to say one more thing. I was never dragging children custody with you. I did not believe that I should not have one weekend a month with my children. There was no English or Latin that you wanted to speak that would make me believe that I did not deserve a weekend a month with my kids. She said because I live with another woman now, and I never denied it in front of the judge. The judge asked me, do you live? I said, yes. Because I have a son. I wasn't hiding it. I never hid it.
Exactly.
It's on social media. I don't need to come and tell you yes or no. In social media, social media is there.
Yeah.
So she raised the point. She doesn't want her kids in my house because another woman stays there. Okay, can't I take the kids to the cinema?
I was just about to
I
say,
even
go
thought that
out
was
to eat,
stupidity. That was
go to the
utter madness. Did her own father not remarry? Were any of the mothers deprived of their children? As in, I don't get that. I don't get that. You
I
understand?
never have. I never
I don't
have.
understand that. For what? Oh, then she now used, oh, Daddy Freeze fighting religion, blah 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 blah. Yeah, right. I fought religion for how many years now?
I think
Nobody
he
has
would have
beat me
liked to see you
publicly.
broken.
They painted all sorts of narratives. It has not made me poorer. It has made me so much more famous.
But
I've said,
that sounds like what she wanted. Broke, disgusted, busted, down.
you understand?
Maybe
So
should have
so
been happier.
so at the end of the day, I had to sit back one day and say, you know what? I'm cutting this toxicity. If it means me not seeing the kids, I will not see the kids. I cannot deal with mental health issues.
Yeah, it really does something to the psyche. It does. It really does.
Someone says, Daddy Freeze, did you ever cheat on your ex? Let's not even talk about cheating. Cheating was a
What does
two-way
that have to
road.
do with what we're
Hold
saying?
on. Cheating was a two-way road. Let's not go there. Let's not disgrace ourselves. Let's not even mention
So
cheating.
whoever is asking
Cheating.
might be doing
Cheating.
the same thing.
Cheating. I'm not going to say anything. But waiting my eyes see.
Do you notice the people who ask these questions are the one doing it?
Don't mind them. Cheating. Cheating is part of the cheating equation.
So Daddy Freeze, quickly to piggyback on what Solomon was saying about toxicity and all of that. This lady with this comedian now, because she wanted to get back into the police force, they told her, listen, unless you're a victim of abuse, you can't get back in. This woman went to go get people to beat the crap out of her, bloody herself up, and say he did it. Can you imagine the extent that she went?
Oh.
And then she tried to get back with him, and because he refused, she took him up a notch. Just to be vindictive, vengeful, and the fact that she was doing whatever she was doing with other people, and he said, okay, well, if this is the way it is, it's an open relationship, and found out that he was with somebody else. Oh my God. Do so, don't like so. The fact that I'm doing it doesn't mean that you should do it. And then she was ready to destroy his career, ready to destroy him, demoralize him. She went to, oh my God, he almost lost his career on that. But like you say, to God be the glory, he's holding his own, he's doing very well, better than before. But it's sad. And this is a West Indian man that came here and built himself up. From being a master electrician to being one of the noted comedians that was on the Breakfast Club beat. He's trying to pick him up. Come on. When somebody wants to destroy you and God is really for you, please, throw your best shot. You can stand there today, Daddy Freeze, and say they threw their best shot, but here you stand.
Straight up.
To the glory of God.
To the glory of God. Straight up.
Why are you looking like that? Hello, sis. What's up?
Hey, sister.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good evening.
Good evening, my darling sister.
It's evening here in Texas, so good evening.
Same here in Florida, 8:28.
I just wanted to make a point about the marriage in abroad. I'm Nigerian, Igbo, married to an Anambra man. I actually I met my husband through a family member, went to Nigeria, did my wedding, did his papers, brought him over here. My opinion about the issues about marriage abroad, from my perspective, we have this notion of, I'm going to say my generation of women.
Okay.
We have this notion of we want our men to do everything. We have an expectation of what we want our marriage to be. And I almost fell victim to it because I grew up, my dad is a U.S. soldier, still active in the military. And I have a sister, and we were sheltered. So I wanted a man that was like my dad, who provided everything, who was there when I needed, beg and call. I don't want questions asked. I've been married. I'll be 6 years in September married, and it got to a point where I felt like he wasn't doing enough for me. And then you have friends in your ear that are telling you, girl, it can't be me. If he's not doing this for you, he doesn't love you. If he's not doing this for you, you know, he's probably doing it for somebody else.
Your mistake. Listen.
And exactly. But I have a great foundation in my mother, and I have a great foundation in my sister.
Good.
And my sister's husband, who's from Akwa Ibom, they actually was like, girl, get over it. I've never been a lazy woman. I work for the state. Um, but I went through, I'm going to tell a little story. When I got pregnant with my first son, I had a major fibroid. I went through a whole lot of health issues, had him, had fibroid surgery, got pregnant again without knowing. My uterus ruptured. So I was out of work for 3 years. So now I'm dependent on a man to take care of me instead of the two household of me contributing in America with COVID.
Oh, wow.
and no work. So I just want to say, for us, Nigerian women, I'm not saying all of us are bad. Not every man is good, because I know a lot of men that are horrible. But most cases that I've seen, sisters, please be patient. Please be kind. Because it's not easy being married. It's not easy being in a different country, away from family for some people.
And support system.
But as men are groomed, especially our men in Nigeria, they are groomed to be strong, to not show emotion, to just swallow everything. Um, I just want us to do better. That's all. Because we can, because there are great women out there. All my friends are Nigerian women, and they are thriving, and they love their men. And there are other men that are out there that go above and beyond for their wives, for their spouses. It's just, let's not just dwell and just stigmatizing everybody. You know what I mean?
That's so true, sister. I mean, like Daddy Freeze was saying, every marriage is, including his own, every marriage has its challenges, hard times, and so on. And how we react and deal with these problems that come up in a marriage determine the outcome of that. And if you have good people that are advising you and not trying to follow the trends and trying to follow what you're seeing out there, like a friend of mine, Ibis Haven, always would say on her show that even if you leave a marriage, how are you sure that you're going to a better one or going to get a better person? Not everybody is fortunate.
Look, misery likes company. Okay,
it does. Yes.
For me, there's a lot of there's it's not that much thing that will happen for me to leave my marriage. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, let's be patient. Don't just leave your marriage because your husband didn't get you the good feedback that you asked for.
Ridiculous.
I know a lot of people that do that. So let's not do that. I'm a wife of a military soldier. He just came back from deployment today, thank God, safe. And you're not always gonna get what you want, and I had to learn that. And we have to stop. It would be great if you're married to a man who can provide everything for you and you don't have to do anything. But I believe our women now, the women in my generation, are very independent, and they always like to get things their way. They work for themselves, and it's hard sometimes when you're a woman and you work and you've gone through a lot of stuff to build yourself up, and you're married to a man who's lazy, that just wants to take from you. That's just my opinion. comment section. You guys are savage, okay?
Okay.
Papa.
Oops. So I'm back. Ah,
You know
where is she gone? What happened to her?
I guess comment section 1.
What happened to Binta? Oh, you guys removed Binta.
The comment section 1. They wanted her gone so bad.
Binta is my sister. Oh, you guys are not nice. Okay, Samaria, how are you?
Oh, Daddy Freeze.
And Peter Ebojele, you are our last two commenters. So let us hear from you guys.
Chief Daddy Freeze.
Me?
Oluwa Peter Ebojele.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my dearest brother.
I've been on the live since the beginning because I'm somewhere working though. I'm fixing solar system somewhere.
Oh wow!
And we've been doing it for like 2 days. Now tomorrow we'll finish the work on a big work. So just connect finish, make I sit down small, look for now, see live. So I joined. Now, this very topic on ground is simple and complex. Different people were brought up differently, and all of us have different levels of tolerance. There are some things that I can tolerate and cope with that another person may not be able to tolerate. Sometimes, some people, what they can tolerate, if they are not careful, they can listen to people who cannot tolerate it and now behave like those people and begin to regret later. For example, we have seen people who divorce because of domestic violence. And then there are some people who divorce because of manufactured, I want to use the word manufactured domestic violence. For example, some people, because they think this person may just be prone to, as in, this person may have violence in him, but he's hiding it. We have seen cases like that where, yes, there are cases. I've seen a case where a woman said she wanted to divorce her husband because she's too nice. Do you understand? So sometimes some people do something maybe because they are expecting that I'm sure there's a lie somewhere. This is too good to be true. So sometimes some people get divorced for crazy reasons. Then sometimes for Nigerians who migrate to another country like America or somewhere in Europe, where the wife now begin to, in quote, misbehave. If you go and check in some of these cases, before the woman began to misbehave, she was actually bearing something in Nigeria that she was looking for freedom. So when she gets the air to be free, she will no longer take those things she used to take. For example, I know men who believe that if their wife have money, she will oppress them or she will not listen to them. So they deliberately keep those women with the stipends they give them. But when they relocate from Nigeria to a country where everybody now needs to work to survive, for the first time, the woman begins to make her money, and then she will now not begin to take those things she used to take when she was not financially independent. But the truth remains that if a man can understand his wife, it's very important. I'll give you an example. My wife is an American. When we got married, she told me that she's not comfortable seeing ladies calling me for any reason. And I am not a womanizer. But she said, even though you are not a womanizer, I don't like it. Do you know what I did? I gave her my phone. I said, go through the phone. If you see anybody send me any message you don't like, delete the person. Just delete, because I don't have anything to do with them. My wife goes through my phone. I say, I drop my phone, waka come out, because nothing there inside. But you see, those numbers she deleted. Some I deleted by myself. It was to bring peace in my house. If if I didn't delete those numbers, I bet you those numbers will cause problem, and I don't have anything to do with them. They don't give me money. I'm not doing business with them. Do you understand? So to make peace in my house, I decided to delete those numbers, and there's peace. Now I've been away from home. I traveled to go and do this work that I'm doing. I've been away from home for like 3 days. I'll be returning back tomorrow. My wife misses me every minute. But you know why? Because I know how to behave and do some things that she doesn't like. I avoid those things. Am I a man? I'm a man. But if it were some other persons, those things, they won't avoid it. You know why? They want to prove that they are a man. So it's different strokes for different folks. If people can understand the people they marry, there will be peace. Because sometimes some women who give their husband heat is because of what they perceive that the husband could be doing that he doesn't want to stop. The fact that he doesn't want to stop will now make them begin to get worried. That there must be something deeper. That's
Than
why
this.
they want to stop.
Okay, Peter, fantastic point. Fantastic point. We're running out of time. I want to hear Samaria too. Samaria too, 2 minutes. Make we come up for the live. We don't day here.
I'm laughing with you 2 minutes. I'm sorry. You've all spoken well. But yet we say rest in peace to everyone, to people when I'm telling you. That's the simple thing. First of all, I'm not gonna say a lot, but there are a lot of contributing factors. Like Solomon had said, it's not just Africa, not just in Nigeria, it happens everywhere. The rate of divorce is high in the society, in the world. So don't just put the blame on African men or Nigerian men, because even the whites, the black women, it's everywhere. So women, we have our thing. It's not easy to be with people. It's not easy to be with an individual that you are not mated with. Even those of them that are coming from the same home, they have issues. Talk more of people who didn't know themselves from Adam. But there are things we should put into consideration. Like I've always said, family orientation and value is very important. Not only that, before you decide to settle with somebody, think about it. Ask yourself before you even start falling in love and the rest of them, if this is what you want. Marry your type, for goodness sake. Marry your type. It's very important to marry your type. Yeah. Do not rush into putting emotions and feelings. And on the long run, it's already late for you to start making amendments. Marry your type, that's one. And secondly, just know that it's never going to be easy. Because if we all should start leaving people for little mistakes, then I guess we'll all be single. There are people who don't have tolerance level. We women, as for example, we have a lot of things going on with us. We have our emotions, it swings up and down. Times a woman may wake up this morning and decide to just be troublesome. I'm telling you. Just want to look for trouble the whole of that day. She'll start picking on you, throwing tantrums like a child. It's normal. And times we even look for we throw these tantrums at the wrong time. We don't communicate the right time. Even if we have something bothering us, we want to communicate with our men or with our partners. We don't bring it up at the right time. We bring it at the wrong time. Times we just let it pile up. It keeps accumulating. That any slight mistake the man will do, will flame up. You see us bringing up things we've been harboring over 20 years ago. That is our personality. Daddy Freeze, I have so much to say, but because of what you said about time, I'm going to just let it go.
I'm exhausted, and I still have to go and call Black Mentor and find out what exactly is going on. Because
Sorry?
I still have to go and call Black Mentor and find out what exactly is going on. So the earlier I start.
It was nice coming in. Good night.
Good night, my sister. Thank you. This is your first time on the live, or this is your first time joining?
Yes.
First time watching or first time joining?
First time joining.
But you've been watching, Abby.
Of course.
Make sure you keep watching. And my regards to your husband. You say he's a soldier.
Don't say that. My sister says that all the time. Don't say that.
Peter, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Binta. Thank you, Solomon, for coming. I appreciate you all. Take care. God bless. And see you very soon. Samaria, I didn't say thank you to you. Special thank you to you, Samaria.